I became a prophet when I was 7 years. I was born a prophet. My calling, one day, I was a street boy, but my mother was a believer. My mother was a believer, a very prayerful woman. What happened, but I found myself in the streets. One day, while in the streets of Nairobi, South B, I went to look for food with my friends, kwa takataka. I didn't get food, but what I found was a Bible. When I picked the Bible, I remembered my mother had such a book, and every day I could see my mom pray. There are other histories behind there, but I want to pick it from somewhere. So I picked that book. I knew it was a holy book, because every time I could see my mom hold it and pray, and sometimes pray for me with it. So what happened, I picked the book and I walked the whole day with the book, but I didn't get food. So we went to one of the caves at South B, where people used to eat chips, and when they leave chips, zile zimebaki katika ubao, the ones that falls down, we could get inside quickly and we grab and we go and we eat. There are some places when people take me, I keep very quiet for some moments, unless you engage me into talks. I don't keep quiet because I'm a silent person, even though I'm a very quiet person when I'm alone. But memories passes through me, and I remember there was a time, places like this, I could not even enter. Why am I here? And those things revive my spirit. I only become strong because maybe I'm in a group of people. But trust me, if you leave me alone, you'll find me crying. I'm not crying because, you won't find me crying because of maybe what you have bought me. No. What you are buying me, I can buy it myself. But I'm crying because, is this really me? Those are the questions. Is this really me? So we went and we didn't get food, and so I carried the Bible. I remember a friend of mine, I just don't know whether he's still alive or he died. His name was Francis, but we had nicknamed him Tempo. Those who watch the movies of Bruce Lee, and there was another man called Jean Nani Van Damme. There was this man called Tempo, so we had nicknamed him Tempo. So I remember when I picked the Bible, Tempo asked me, "Hey Lucas," they used to call me Kalu, not Lucas, Kalu. The name Lucas, you change it. Street boys don't have straight names, because anything can happen anytime. Nobody should know your true name, because some of the people you are working with are thieves and all that. So a street boy doesn't have a straight name. When he tells you his name is Edwin, his real name is Peter. So he called me and told me, "Kalu, kwani siku hizi unataka kuwa pastor? Biblia ni nini?" I didn't respond. I walked with that Bible, and we used to sleep around Nairobi West. Around Nairobi West there is a power station. I don't know whether it is still there. So many years. One of these days I would like to drive around those places and just see if those places are still there. Nairobi West there is a power station. Unapita kwa hiyo flyover, kuna flyover ya juu na chini. There used to be a road somewhere there, and then there was a fire station. Along the fire station there is a river that comes all the way from Kibera. So that's where we used to sleep. While we were there at night, I saw a big light. By that time, those were the days now, the Illuminati thing had started. So many city council workers by then, they were hunting street boys. And when they hunt you, they don't hunt you to be taken to police or anything. They hunt you, they get you, they kill you, they remove the organs. So sometimes we could wake up, we find one of us was killed yesterday, the kidney is gone, the private part is gone, the heart is gone, the tongue is gone. To us it was normal. That's why up to date you can see a street boy daytime, but you will not find him at night. Because at night they are hunted. Nobody cares about them. So even if they are killed, it's not a case to anybody. In fact, to the government, it's a good riddance. Because you can't cheat me, you can't lie to me that the government doesn't have money to take all street boys and keep them somewhere. You can't cheat me that the government doesn't have resources to give street boys. If all street boys were to be taken into military, they will form the best army. But that is for the government. I'm not in the government. So I saw this big light coming, and I thought it was the Kanjo coming for us. So I woke up to see if truly it was Kanjo. So I looked. We were sleeping the other side, the light was the other side. In between us there was that river. So I crossed inside the river, because that's where we used to take shower also. So I crossed. When I crossed, I looked. I didn't see the lorry, I didn't hear the sound, but the light was increasing. So inside, I wanted to look very well. So when I looked well, there was a white man inside the light, standing. And he called me my real names. And the name that he called me, that surprised me, it was the name of Mtishiby. Nobody knew it. I'm the only one who knew it, and my mother. So he called me that name. After a very, very long time, that name was called. So I was shocked. And he told me, come. And I found myself with a lot of confidence, walking and very much at peace with myself. So I walked inside towards the light. And when I came closer, he told me, I asked him, who are you? And he smiled and he told me, I am Jesus. Then I told him, Jesus of the movie. Why movie? Because by that very week, Bishop Charles Muya of Tabernacle South B had a crusade at a place called Marigoine. Lies can't have evidence. Had a crusade, and he had brought somebody from Rwanda who had been shot during those, and the man was shot several bullets, he died, and then the man came back to life. You can go into the history and you will find what I'm saying is true. So after the crusade, he had brought some wazungu, and ndio walikuwa wamejenga tu kanisa ya Tabernacle South B wakati huo, opposite Catholic, Our Ladies of Mercy something Catholic. That's where their church was. So after the crusade, they were playing the movie of Jesus. So that's why I asked him, Jesus of the movie? Then he said, no, I am Jesus, the Son of God. I want you to go and tell people my word. Then I told him, I don't know your word. Then he told me the book you picked in the morning. Where is it? I found myself with the book in my hand. But I don't remember leaving our sleeping place with that book in my hand. He told me, I want you to go and tell people my words. Then I told him, I don't know your words. Then he told me, my words are in the book you picked. Then I told him, I don't know how to read. Then he smiled and he disappeared. No, he told me, you know how to read. And then he disappeared. I went back to sleep. I slept very peaceful. I woke up the following day at 11. When my friends had gone, all of them, I was the only one. They left me there. Kama nimelalia cotton. box. And when I woke up, I was very hungry. Then something told me, enda kwa ile takataka ile ingine upande ule. So I went to another small dumping site which had just started. There was the bigger one and the smaller one which had just started, because people could not go to the bigger one because of the madudu na nini na kadhalika. So I went to the smaller one. When I went to the smaller one, I found fresh food for the first time. Like somebody had cooked food and took there and kept it there purposely for me. It was rice, white rice, minji, and some pieces of meat. Warm, fresh. Fresh was not our way of life. We were being given food that is frozen from the fridge. That is the fresh. Somebody kept the food in a fridge, then, you know, that is the food. Or expired food. Not fresh. The only time we could eat fresh food, it was during Ramadan, the Islam festivals. Because South B, there was a mosque there. Or Muslims on Friday. Some good-hearted Muslims. And so I picked that food and I ate. Then I went back to the same place again. And I had no peace in me. Then something told me, open the Bible. It was a Swahili Bible. And when I opened, the memories of my mom came back. Because when I left home, my mom used to teach me A, E, I, O, U, Ma, Me, Mi, Mo, Mu, Pa, Pe, Pi, Po, Pu. So when I opened, I could see Mu, Ngu, Mungu, Ye, Su, Yesu. That is how I started. My mother is my hero. And she's the best thing I have on this earth. And so I opened and I could read. Then something got in me. Then I remembered before I left home, I was the only child, and I am still the only child. My cousins and my age-mate uncles never loved me. My family, I was never loved. That was the reason why the street thing came into my life. So sometimes I could go to play with my uncles. They beat me and they chased me away. And then I was born as Tamara. So they used to do two things. Either beat me or tell me to speak words that I can't pronounce. And so as I stammer, they will start laughing. And that was more painful to me than even beatings. So they could beat me and chase me in the rails and tell me, go, kwenda kaa huko kwenyu. And when I go to complain to my grandmother, instead she will beat me. So most of the time I used to remain with my mom. It reached a point where I used to play alone. But something funny, there were some children who used to come from the other side. They come to play with me. But I'm the only one seeing those children. Nobody else is seeing them. And during the play, they could tell me the stories of David, Abraham, Daniel. You see? So later I came to realize they were angels. I remember the last day I left home, they came with some toys. And one of them told me, Joby. And I was so happy. Every day I go to my grandfather, I normally search for the place. Because it's my prayer that I should never die before I find them. I remember where I buried them, but I've tried finding, but I've never found them. Lulukua lusufulia lungine ludogo ludogo hivyo kupikia. Kalongolongo. But I'm the only one who used to see them. But every time we were playing, they were telling me stories of the Bible. Me, I didn't know there were stories of the Bible. Me, I just knew there were stories. So I remembered those things. Then I left, I went to Nyayo Stadium. The other day we were driving Nyayo Stadium. I saw the spot where I went to preach the first day. So I went at Nyayo Stadium, I stood, and I started shouting. Yes, no, 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 no. And people started stopping their vehicles, and people were stopping, and they were throwing monies to me. Then I said, hey, so this thing is so good. I just shout, yes, 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 and people stop, and they throw money, and they give me money. I remember the first man after shouting, I went to Gikomba, I bought a pink, I was a street boy, but very clean. Very clean. And that thing one day saved me. One day I was hijacked by my friends, with some of my friends, whom I never saw them again. I was released from the vehicle because of my cleanness. I don't know whether my friends were slaughtered, I don't know. We were found Nairobi West, Yaya Center. That was my first time to go to Yaya, and I never went there again. My friends, I never saw them again. We found other street boys, drunk and dead asleep. They had something. They arrest you, they put on your nose, you go blackout. So when he reached, he asked me, you, are you a street boy? And something told me, I said, no. Why are you here? Then I said, a friend of mine told me, we go and play. Where is he? When he saw you people, he ran away. Where is your father? My father works Kenya Railways. It was my grandfather who used to work Kenya Railways. He was an engineer, not my father. My father had worked so hard to acquire poverty with all documents. Where was he working? He did not remove me from the vehicle. They didn't stop the vehicle. He alinishika hapa na akanirusha hivi in a moving vehicle. Who do that to me? What do you think was done to them? That is the time body parts had just started. So when I got those money, I went and bought a pink pullover. It was written Texas. I remember very well. That wasn't the beginning of my call. And then the journey went on. So that even though that is how God, it doesn't give me a room anywhere to say of God. No. Everyone, there is a way God called them. And everyone, there is an assignment that God gave them. Whether I saw Jesus or I didn't see Jesus, that doesn't matter. What matters is, am I doing what he wanted me to do? If truly I saw him, then am I doing what he wanted me to do? So it went on. Many things happened. Many things happened. Then 10 years ago, I was removed from this city. I was taken down into the village, then later brought to Kisumu. And recently now God sent me back to Nairobi without my knowledge. I knew I was coming for a program, then I go back to Kisumu. That is the pure truth. There is nowhere I sat, Mary, and I said, I am going to Nairobi to stay. Nowhere. These things were happening the last week. Pack this. But I sensed something. This packing, there's something which is not right. And when it was time, I think it was Beryl I told to call Madaraka and told Beryl, tell Madaraka to look for a house. We are going to stay in Nairobi. Miriam, you are going. Beryl, you are going. And that's how it started. Martin, you are going. Henry, you are going. You are the first people I'm going with. Others will follow me later. And here, all of you are. If this is the third week, and I'm seeing this place is already full actually, I don't know where I'll keep you people. But the good thing is that the first will get a seat, the last will stand.